Here we are in section 6-3 with exercises 1, 2, and 3. These are big problems with addition of fractions and division of fractions, these complex rational expressions. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, on the top here, let's get a common denominator to add these fractions, times this by a y, times that by a y, and that by an x, and that by an x, and we now have 2y plus 3x over xy. Okay, on the bottom, let's do the bottom fraction now. Times by y, and times by x, and times by x. And we now get, so this is going to be divided by, this bottom one is 10y squared plus 15x squared over xy. So we took the top fraction divided by the bottom fraction, after adding them together. So we now can write this down as multiplication by the reciprocal. So 2y plus 3x over xy times this guy flipped on its head, xy over 10y squared plus 15x squared. Look at that. The xy's are going to cancel like crazy. What can we pull out of here? We can pull out a 5, right? So we get a 2y plus 3x all over 5 times 2y squared plus 3x squared. Oh, wouldn't you? That looks so close. Like we should be able to simplify that at all. So you can write the answer like this, or you could leave this bottom as 10y squared plus 15x squared. That would be okay. All right, next one. On the top here, common denominator, we would have to times this guy by an x minus 2, and times this by an x and an x. Good, so we get 3x minus 6, that's this 3 jumping in there, minus the 5x, minus 5x, all over x times x minus 2. Good. And then on the bottom, let me see, we have an x that we're going to times here, and an x minus 2 on this guy to make them the same. So we're dividing by 9x plus 5x minus 10 all over x times x minus 2. Okay, so far so good. Let's write this out a little bit nicer as we flip this. So we get 3x minus 5x, that's negative 2x minus 6 all over x times x minus 2. And then it's going to be multiplying by, what is this? Oh, yeah, x times x minus 2. So flipping this times, now the divide changes to a times sign and we reciprocate this. So flip it on its head and we get 14x minus 10. Is that right? Yeah, okay, good. So the x cancels, the x minus 2 cancels, and we're left with negative 2x minus 6 over 14x minus 10. Let's see if we can simplify this anymore. Can anything come out of the top? A negative 2, and we're left with x plus 3, and then a 2 out of the bottom, and we'll get 7x minus 5, like that. All right, okay. And we get the 2 will cancel. So we could write this as negative x plus 3 over 7x minus 5. Or we could actually take that negative sign and jump it into the top and have a negative x minus 3 over 7x minus 5. Excellent. All right, last one. Number 3, 1 plus 7y. So this is over 1. So we times by a y over a y. So y over y, 7 over y. So that's y plus 7 over y. And then on the bottom, times by y over y to get common denominators. And this is going to be, let's write, divided by 2 minus 3y over y. And multiplication by the reciprocal, so y plus 7 over y times, this guy flipped on its head, y over 2 minus 3y. Those cancel, and we're left with y plus 7 over 2 minus 3y. You could switch that around and make it minus 3y plus 2. That would be all right. Good.